right, let's take a look back here at Adesanya versus Cannonier. Now, I don't love the concept that when the best guy in the world goes out and wins the entire fight, all of it, he won the conditioning, he won the pacing, he won the footwork, he won the showmanships, he won the damage, he won the octagon control, any term that you want to throw out, he won them. And he did it over the second best guy alive. Do you know what a number one contender means? It means you've proven, and it is believed, that you can beat everybody alive except maybe one guy, the champion. That's what number one contenders mean. It is a tremendous claim. It's a tremendous honor. So when you have Adesanya, and he can win every moment against the second best guy, the second best guy has 25 minutes and can never put him in a precarious position, can never take him off his feet, can never knock him off his feet, can never back him up, can never wobble him. That's incredible. It really is. That's an incredible thing. And when we fault and we criticize that guy, what do you want him to do? I mean, that's always the side, right, guys? It doesn't matter what you're arguing. It doesn't matter if you're sitting around Thanksgiving table and you want to be the one that's going to be right. You're going to bring up politics and what the U.S. Senate should do, and you're going to do that by complaining about what they are doing. You're of no use. Anytime you offer a complaint, you must then present a solution, or you're of no use. Sitting around and identifying what you don't like about work that others are getting done is no use. So how do you do that if you're in Izzy's spot? Because it's the second time it happened, and it's going to be a trend. You know, this started when Izzy was the most exciting guy in the world. He truly was. He was even winning Fight of the Night. And Jesus' fight with Kelvin Gastelum was nominated for Fight of the Year. I think they won it with the World MMA Awards, but I know that it was nominated. All of a sudden, guys figure, I'm going to stay away from this guy. This guy's dangerous. I'm scared to death of him. This guy can hurt me really bad. And you get him in there with a fight with Yoel Romero, and nothing happens. And you blame Adesanya completely. You blame the winner. It always goes that way. You guys remember the fight with Yoel Romero? You did not blame Yoel at all. Though he was the other guy in there who, by the way, did less than the guy that you are blaming. Anderson Silva almost got fired for a performance he had over Damian Maia. Damian Maia did the exact same match Anderson did, except he did less. Whatever Anderson did that wasn't enough for you, Maia did less. That's what losing represents. And he wasn't blamed. Whitaker, Adesanya. Boy, it came down on Adesanya, and he felt it, and they took his glorious moment from him. And he felt it. Hey, look, hey, let's chalk this one up. You know, I got past him, and let's chalk this up, and I'm going to look great next time. And he wanted to tonight. He even said, I want to show off. Wants to show off because he hears what you guys are doing. He's out there performing for you. Sometimes you do miss that. Then they're for himself, or, you know, he gets the fancier house, or he gets the nicer watch. And, I mean, there's scumbags that do that. Those guys are hard to cheer for. He doesn't happen to be one, but it's an element of it, right? It's an element where you think, no, he's doing it for you. Sugar Sean talked about earlier in the week last week, said I could go out there and submit Khabib, and the people wouldn't give me any credit. Well, Sugar Sean's telling you how he feels. That's how you've made him feel. You have made it, and maybe that makes you feel good. If you're one of the mean people that are out there posting and staying busy on social media, making sure you tag it and making sure a regular guy like Sean is going to see it, and you did it to bring him down, maybe you succeeded. It's a piece of it. I don't begrudge you. I'm just saying it worked. You see Volkanovski come out and almost give an anti-bullying speech and put himself in there. So don't let anybody hold you down. Don't let them pick on you. They've been picking on me. And look at me, I fought back. I can't imagine what Volkanovski let into his bubble for him to have heard that over the chorus of people like me that are saying, this is the greatest to have ever done it. This is the greatest 45-pounder to ever exist. I can't imagine what Volk is letting in to have the masses drown it out. But he shared how he feels. Because he's doing it for you. He's doing it for your approval. Money came along with this sport later. The sport was here first. Attention and cameras and audiences and media and spot, it all came around later. Sport was here first. Boys were fighting and training and trying to get better. They're fighting for respect. They're fighting for approval. They're fighting for a pat on the back. They're fighting for a, hey man, good job. I know that's hard to believe. I know these guys are bigger than life, but I'm just sharing with you. Adesanya, he fought Cannonier for you. And he fought him right. And he beat him. And it's a two-man sport. And somebody that can't explain, I don't want to give Jared a hard time. Oh, come on. Old Chael wouldn't have done any better than Jared. Not at all what I'm saying. It's just really important that you understand what Adesanya is up against. He has one way of fighting. He is not equal, standing in ground. He has one way of fighting. And everybody knows it. So everybody can plan for it. His opponents have multiple ways of fighting. It's rare that a guy can make it to the top with one set of skills. He did it. But it's still relevant that you understand that, because now everybody gets to plan for it. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody sees it. And they still can't deal with it. And you don't appreciate that? I think that's hard. You're not wrong as a fan at all. Never. Never. You get a cheer, you get a boo. I'd never. No problem. But you also want to be on the right side of it, right? You go put a guy down, you want a zinger, and you know that it's the truth that hurts. You want to find the truth. I'm just helping you to find that. One guy fought in a way that we knew he would fight because it's the only way he can. We didn't just have training camp to plan for him. He's been the sitting champion of the world for years. Every single night, every single practice you have ever gone to, in those years, you thought about him. And as you worked your way up, you finally are now opposite him. You have been planning for that skill set for years, and he dominated you in every single fashion. And we're going to give him a hard time. I don't think that's right. And now what are we going to do with Piera? What are we going to do? I put a poll up, guys. Put a poll up on my little YouTube page, but that's a targeted market. It's you guys. It's a very targeted, educated, passionate. In 51 minutes, 17,000 of you weighed in on it. I just asked you who's going to win, Adesanya or Piera. Now, my guess was, because of tonight, because of the most recent thing that you've seen, I thought Piera would win that. It was damn near a tie. Adesanya actually was, it was 52-48. Very close. But that's an interesting match. We don't know a goddamn thing about it. We're all going to become experts. We do that every time. We're all going to know everything. This guy's going to kill him and I'll bet the house. But I understand. I understand that you're going to talk like that. You don't know a goddamn thing about it. You don't have one piece of history you can turn to. Very rare in the history of the sport that a kickboxer makes it to the top. And there's one thing that was proved in 1993, that the striker has a harder time than the grappling arts. It's rare. Maurice Smith. Fast forward. Who was next? Anderson. 10-year spread in there. Fast forward. Who was next? Adesanya. 2022. Another 10-year spread. It's rare. My only point. We now have two that have made it to the top, undefeated, cleaned out both sides of the brackets. Both sides of the brackets have all been beaten. There are two guys left standing, and they're kickboxers with no takedowns between them, no takedown attempts between them. This is uncharted waters, guys. We have never seen this, and you would have not predicted it. If two boxers came over to this sport, you would not have thought they were going to go very far. But if they did, at the same time in the same weight class, to the point that they were both undefeated and had cleared out the field, and they were the only two left standing, you now know full well, okay, they're going to go box. They're going to do it in 4-ounce gloves, and it's going to be under the unified rules, but not really. It's not really under the unified rules. Unified rules allow for takedowns and strikes. They're not going to do takedowns. They're only going to do the strikes.